Over the past 36 hours in Ceuta, which is one of Spain's two North African enclaves, we've seen these amazing scenes. Huge numbers of people pouring into Ceuta, risking their lives in the process. Most, in fact, have swum round from neighbouring Morocco, some in inflatable boats, some in inflatable rings, some kind of doggy paddling their way onto shore to get to Spanish soil. The numbers are quite staggering. Some estimates say 40,000 people have crossed over over the last day and a half. Some people are saying it's up to 60,000 people. These are mind-boggling figures, especially when you take into account the population of Ceuta itself. It's about 85,000 people. Most of those arriving, are young men. There are also young women there. There are also some, unaccompanied children. According to the Spanish authorities, at least 20 people have drowned while trying to cross over, or they've been crushed, in kind of stampedes at the border fence. A lot of the immediate reaction of people when they've crossed over into Ceuta is a kind of feeling of, jubilation. They're thrilled to be, on Spanish soil. We've heard some people shouting "Viva España." But I think, particularly as last night wore on and the realities of the situation hit, the jubilation has given way to a day of, total uncertainty. People have been sleeping on the streets, wandering the streets, sleeping in the plazas, in the square. People have wandered around thinking, okay, I'm here now, but what happens? Well, I think it's really worth remembering these people are not in mainland Spain. They are not in peninsular Spain. They are in a Spanish enclave of North Africa, surrounded by Morocco. They are in Africa. The relevant police force here is Spain's Guardia Civil, which is one of the two national forces, but it's the one that patrols Spain's borders. There have been reports of some clashes, which is not surprising, but I think they were just overwhelmed, by these numbers. It's sheer kind of weight of humanity, coming in so suddenly. Border crossings here and in Melilla, Spain's other North African enclave, are not that rare. And back then in May 2021, we saw about 10,000 people arriving from over the border with Morocco over the space of 2 days. And the thing about that mass crossing, it took place at a time of huge diplomatic tension between Spain and Morocco. But this is absolutely unprecedented in terms of the numbers. Pedro Sánchez, Spain's Prime Minister, who is in Ceuta today on a visit, has laid the blame for this squarely at the door of people trafficking mafias, saying that they're taking advantage of a decision that Spain's Supreme Court made last month. Spain's Supreme Court ruled that anyone trying to reach Ceuta or Melilla, the other Spanish North African enclave, by sea and who got intercepted couldn't be automatically returned. And Sanchez is saying that people traffickers particularly have willfully misinterpreted this ruling and have used it to entice people to cross the border. And Sanchez said this is a violation of Spain's territorial integrity. And we've heard very similar noises from Rabat. The Moroccan authorities have not said very much at all on this, but they have also talked about criminal organisations and they've stressed that they're working with the Spanish authorities on this. The question now is what happens? We've had these very dramatic scenes, we've all seen the footage, but now we're into the bureaucratic phase of this, which is how do you process all these claims and what do you do with this enormous number of people? Lots of people have started going back to Morocco, but obviously a large amount of people remain there and they're going to have to be processed. Where are they going to be housed? Who's going to feed them? What's the plan? This is a humanitarian aspect of this. Everyone's perhaps been focused on the geopolitics of this, but there's a large number of people in a small city that wasn't expecting them.